to Toastmaster Lahore. Hello Toastmasters, what is life? Life is a journey of exploring an uncharted territory. All of us live our lives in different circumstances. All of us have different problems. All of us have different talents. And for us, each one of us, our life is different. So wouldn't it be great if we could find a mentor in life, a guiding star, someone who's more experienced, who has had all those similar experiences and can guide you. You don't need someone to hold your hand, but someone who can tell you every now and then whether you're going on the right path or not, someone who can motivate you. I found my mentor in Toastmasters. I joined Toastmasters around 6 years ago, and at that time I was the youngest member. Before coming to the club, I did not know any of the members. And it was a challenge for me because I was going to do something quite different. All of you must have experienced Toastmasters is a unique opportunity. You do not get that kind of educational experience in most of the trainings. And going into an unknown thing, without knowing what to do, how to do, without a mentor, it would have been really difficult. I was lucky enough that when I joined Toastmasters, at the same time, I was also switching my job from my firm to the industry. And my new boss happened to be a chartered accountant and a Toastmaster. He also joined Toastmaster Club almost at the same time, but the kind of experienced, interesting, and very learned person that he is, he made his progress quite quickly. And he started guiding me as well. I'm talking about distinguished Toastmaster Iftikhar Taj. Although he wasn't my formally appointed mentor, but he took up that role as my boss, as someone who was supposed to guide me here in Toastmasters as well as by job. And that relationship didn't end with my completing my DTM or did not constrain within this Toastmasters role. It has helped me ever since in whatever I do, in whatever initiative that we take. Recently, I was at ICAP's convocation ceremony and I was supposed to be hosting that ceremony. So as always, I talked to my mentor before this meeting. And the good thing about my mentor is that he doesn't specifically tell me what to do. He helped me explore what I should do. So in that call that I made to him one night before that convocation event, he told me that we need to make this meeting really interesting for the majority of the audience. He didn't tell me who the audience was supposed to be. And when he said that majority of the audience, I came to the point, majority of the audience is not the newly qualified chartered accountants or the guests. Those are the families of those chartered accountants. He also narrated what he intends to do in order to make his speech interesting, which was that he said he's not going to deliver his speech in English so that he can better relate with the audience. Instead of telling me I should do that, he let me understand that I also need to consider how to better connect with my audience. So I took that advice for myself. And then when he said, try to interact with the people, he didn't specifically say how I need to do that. But then I started thinking, and in the morning when I went to the event, before the event, I tried discussing with him that I'm planning this and this thing, and he gave me confidence. He told me, it is your event. You're on the stage, it is your show, you need to decide what you do with the objective of interacting with the audience. So I got the confidence that, hey, it's my show, and if I'm thinking I can make it better this way, then let me try. He encouraged me. So what I did was that along with my co-host, we decided that we are going to conduct that event not in English, but in Urdu. And our Urdu is so corrupted that even when we try to deliver our speech in Urdu, it's an Urdu and English mix. We also acknowledged the families that were sitting there with statements like, CA is not done by a person, it is done by a family because it impacts the lives of the whole of that family or that area. And the third most interesting thing that we did, because I was confident about it, because my mentor had given me a green chit about doing something creative, during the event, my co-host went on the stage and she told the audience that her co-host, me, is amongst the audience and he's going to ask some questions. And there I did. I went to the families, to the parents specifically, and started interacting with them, being among them and asking them some interesting questions like, which of the parents thinks that their kids did not study and still qualified? Amazingly, someone actually raised their hand and said, my son didn't really study, but somehow by the grace of God, he has qualified. And then there were questions like, how many of you did not believe that your kids could do it, but now they are here? And how that made them feel. And there were some really interesting and inspirational answers coming. People really enjoyed it. Although parents, most of them were coming to this event for the first time, along with all the freshly qualified chartered accountants, but there were many guests, many past presidents, many council members who had been to many of these events. And they really acknowledged us. They said that this event was really interesting because the audience could interact, because the audience felt involved in this event. And in this way, my mentor helped me do something new, do something creative, do something better. These are the qualities of a good mentor. In life, you need to find good mentors. You need to find people who don't need to dictate you, who don't need to coach you always, but who can always tell you if you're going on the right track, if what you're doing seems right for you. And they can help you in finding the right thing in your mind, in your heart, and in yourself. In Toastmasters, all of you are entitled to have a mentor. So go and ask the Vice President Education, who's sitting back there, and tell him to assign you a mentor. And even if he doesn't, or you don't need to go, or you already know who you want your mentor to be, go and ask that person, because all of us are here to help each other. And people will be glad to help you and be your mentor and help you in becoming a better Toastmaster and a better person. Over to Toastmasters meeting.